Hello, everyone. This is Jeff from the Cyber Pro podcast, back with another episode where industry leaders share their insights. It's 5 questions in 9 minutes because hackers never sleep. So let's jump in. Question number 1, Christiane, in a few sentences, please share with us who you are and what you do.
Hello, Jeff. Thank you for having me. My name is Christiane Wuillamie. I'm currently the CEO and co-founder of Pyxis Culture Technologies. We link risk, culture, and company performance, and our special interest is cybersecurity. I have been in technology for many years, and what fascinates me about technology, I always put the people first, because unless you get people to understand and know how to work the technology, it's not worth having it. I have been a CIO in many banks, and I've set up cybersecurity from IT security. I have done many transformations. I've advised the British government about how to support small and medium-sized business. So that's why I've been honored by the Queen. That's what with the offices of the British Empire Award. But besides that, I have also set up my own technology company and exited years ago, and this is my second startup.
And you're obviously a pro at startups. This is wonderful. I would love to hear a little bit more stories of the Queen in a little bit, but let's stay on task. We've heard from other industry leaders that cybersecurity is a top concern, only growing. We don't have to go far. We can read the headlines every day to know the things that don't always go right. So when you hear the term cybersecurity is a top concern, what does that mean to you? And how should we be going more in the right direction?
That is a very interesting topic. It's a top concern because as far as an IT professional, I feel that we failed in terms of cyber hygiene and IT management for the last 20 years. And companies have been hacked for a long time now. But now with the pandemic, it's highlighted that the hackers are busier than ever. The business is now, as you know, in 2021, what is the number again? $6 trillion business. So we have to get organized and prepared to mitigate, protect, and fight back.
That's a very difficult question to answer. And we started talking a little bit about this before we started recording, because on the one hand, you've got cybersecurity on the technology platform, and then you also have cybersecurity on the human platform. While technology is amazing and only growing by leaps and bounds, it is still operated by humans, and the fallacies that come with human behavior, human emotion, and so on and so forth. So my next question to you is, what insights or advice about how to build a cybersecurity culture would you like to share with our community?
First of all, in terms of cybersecurity culture, you need to look at the whole ecosystem, the whole enterprise, because culture doesn't mean that culture is quite a misunderstood word, because people see that as a behaviors are an outcome of many things that happens in your daily life or work life. So to build the culture, you have to look at all the drivers that drive that culture. And that means that it could be the strategy, the leadership, IT, third-party risk, third-party partners, processes, policies. So there are many, many factors. So once you identify that, then you can start working on the culture, because every company's culture is different, and we can accept that. Yeah. So that's why we build a platform to approach it that way, to give a visual map of your whole ecosystem. It's like an X-ray of your organization. And culture is all to do with leadership. So unless the leadership want to change the culture, it's impossible, because the leadership have to drive everything through their behavior. And it's not just driving the behavior, they have to change their behavior, because however they behave will affect the whole organization. So we call the concept the shadow of the leader. And I think if you have children or pet, you'll know what I mean, right? I know it's a very simple comparison. The issue that we've been having with cybersecurity in the last 20 years or so is the leadership have always said that, put the responsibility and accountability with IT. And it isn't. Cybersecurity is much broader than IT. We agree on that because it's to do with data protection. It's not just technology. It's to do with people, data, and many other things. And one of the recommendations that we give to our customers is that you have to train the leadership first, no exception. Leadership, board members, and you need to also separate your cybersecurity budget from the IT budget. Why? Because IT gets cut every year. It's a standard process that we know. And also the CISO need to be able to engage the leadership and also to tell the truth. Because often when reports go up the line, they get nicer and nicer. They get wrapped up in a nice little parcel with ribbon. Well, I'm sorry, cybersecurity is not like that. Cybersecurity is immediate, anytime, anywhere. As you say, hackers never sleep. So to build a culture, it has to be looked at as a whole ecosystem of many different causal factors.
You made one really good point, so I'm going to do a quick follow-up, and maybe, hopefully there's a quick response to it. But you said that the culture is part of the shadow of the leaders or the CEO or the C-suites. And so now all of a sudden the CISO, in its own name, is the chief C-suite seat. And it seems to me that the thread I've been hearing recently is that even though it's already a name, the chief information security officer needs to sit down at that table and act like someone at that round table and not an afterthought or a secondary, let's let that guy handle it.
Absolutely. Another thing that's very important as an innovation and technology world is that you have to bake in cybersecurity and quality from the beginning of the product development. So if you build a car, you have seat belts, airbags, etc. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that we are always so excited about the new shiny toys and to get it out of the door quickly, we do not think about putting cybersecurity at the beginning of the product development process. So there are two things. We have to improve on that, and we have to improve on the leadership behavior, and the CISO needs to get out of this technology environment and embrace that he is responsible for cyber safety for every individual of that organization. But not only that, he has to be able to check and make sure that all third-party partners, everybody in the ecosystem value chain are on the same hymn sheet and have the same aim.
Oh, so well put. Thank you for that. All right, we are going to wrap this podcast up with a final question, a fun question. And we like to say, what is your favorite piece of retro technology that makes you smile?
It's it's a PDA Science Series 3. It has double A battery, long battery. You can do spreadsheet, Word, you have a modem, you can have the whole address book on it, and it was made in the 80s, right? And 90s. And you can still get them on eBay.
Well, that is wonderful. Listen, if our viewers want to learn a little bit more about you and your company, your products and your services, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
On LinkedIn or pyxisculture.com.
And on that, I wanted to say thank you very much for your time and your expertise and your willingness to share today, Christiane. I'm going to plug my own podcast because, that's what I do. So for those of you who don't know, we post 2 to 3 different podcasts every week, always with interesting folks about interesting topics. We invite you to come back soon and see another episode of the Cyber Pro podcast. And with that, we would say, be well, good day.